welcome to our final match of week 4. We have the Klefkis on player versus the mainly MEN-etrics on opponents. Both of these trainers are on 2-1. Both received their first loss last week. The Klefkis lost a stalemate, a 1v1 stalemate with a Mungus versus Skarmory. Just ran out of ways to damage the Skarmory and got PP stalled. And the manly MEN-etrics lost to the Go-Go Flower Rangers in a very close battle. The Suicune was able to hang on. Suicune was able to stay on the field for a very long time and do a lot of damage with Skull and just being able to just take a lot of hits. And lost to his twin brother. That's very shameful, and that will affect his legacy poorly. And now for these mons, this is gonna be. I feel like this is gonna be a very both these trainers are trying to be like super methodical here. When I see Road and Frost, it's always just like it always makes me wince, because if you're bringing Road and Frost, you're gonna be bringing Blizzard just to one-shot the Landorus. The Landorus has been running Focus Ash several times, so one-shot is maybe not the correct word. But man, relying on Blizzard as your main way of hitting Landorus is just like kind of rough. So if you can get rid of, he does do very well. Rotom also is immune to Earth Power, so that's also another big thing in Landorus. You also have Gyarados Waterfall. But yeah, the Landorus threatens a decent amount of the field. It has a low Psychic for a Moongus. Earth Power threatens the Incineroar and the Electabuzz, and Sludge Bomb threatens Mega Gardevoir. Mega Gardevoir is very especially bulky, so it could probably take even a boosted Sludge Bomb with the Sheer Force. This is definitely having two electric types is very good for the Celesteela. Yeah, electric type. And the Gardevoir is very nice for the Scrafty. The Scrafty has been I feel like causing several people problems this what's it called, this season. There is something to be worried about the Celesteela, is that even though you do have several mons that can theoretically threaten it, like the Electabuzz, the Rotom, and the Incineroar, we have seen the Incineroar not run Flare Blitz before. So that's one potential issue. And the other issue is that some of these mons are just not that good at threatening, like just aren't offensively threatening enough. Maybe we'll see more offensive sets on like a Gyarados and like the Incineroar, but let's see. But I guess we'll find out soon. I've seen the Cresselia lead a lot, so I'll start to get ready to have a game plan against that. Maybe with Incineroar, or yeah, probably just Incineroar plus something. Maybe the Gardevoir. The Mega Gardevoir is 1 speed slower than the Landorus, which is kind of annoying, but we'll see what these trainers are up to. Oh, and we have it seems like by the names, we're seeing who can do more tricks on the opponent first. Something else I also failed to mention is that MEN-etric has Lightning Rod, which can cover switching that in can boost your special attack and like flip the matchup target of either the Politoed or the Celesteela. So we're sending out 2 potential Intimidate users first. This is Adrenaline Orb to counter Intimidate. Okay. Despite getting the speed boost against the Intimidate, I don't know how helpful this I don't think this Road and Frost is in necessarily a great spot right now. Ice and Electric are just not that good, especially because I guess we've seen Assault Vest Crafty a bit, but you do have. I don't know if you can outspeed Mega MEN-etric if it's max speed, but definitely something to look out for. And 2 electric types. I imagine this MEN-etric has like Snarl, but like I think Snarl's a pretty good click here. I also wouldn't be surprised if we just like don't Mega Evolve just yet, just to try to, that's to like maybe you want to like not, because Intimidate doesn't get you anything right now, just for the fact to try to have the Lightning Rod for later. But yeah, I kind of just want to like Drain Punch Scrafty and like Snarl, and worst case scenario would be like maybe like Amoonguss. Yeah, Amoonguss would be a pretty decent switch in here against that, but then you just have two mons that just like don't really do enough damage on their own with the Electabuzz and the Amoonguss. So that's something that you got to be worried is like then you're just kind of just flailing wet noodles. Okay, we're gonna double protect the Fake Out. I think that's a very safe play. I didn't really expect. I think switching from the opponents from the mainly MEN-etrics side was very unlikely. So that's what double protect here is perfectly reasonable in my book. None of these I mean, Scrafty does technically get Dragon Dance, but like, that's not how it's been run, and I don't think it's a good way to run it for this matchup. But so double protect is fine. Now you got to find a way to start putting yourself in a better position to deal with this this duo. And what are some mons that can do that? Gyarados is an obvious no. Incineroar ain't bad. You can intimidate the Scrafty, and it's just a generally bulky mon. Gardevoir is very especially bulky, and you can threaten to Dazzling Gleam or Moonblast the Scrafty now like super one-hit KO. So like your two best mons are probably Amoonguss and Gardevoir, but you gotta get worried about getting chip bound by Snarl. So like I wouldn't mind honestly doing a preemptive switch here, like switching the Scrafty out, Snarl with MEN-etric, and like have something. Maybe it's the Landorus. Well, that's maybe not the Landorus. If he for some reason Blizzards, that's like a potential disaster. Or just like something of that idea, I'd say. It's the preemptive switch, because like I feel like you have to switch. Like switching here feels like almost necessary. That is a double miss on Blizzard, and that's what I was foreshadowing earlier on how much of a liability using Blizzard as an attack can be. And now you're not even going to be hitting hard anymore with just, knockoff. But we do get the static at least. But this Electabuzz as just like an annoying follow me merchant is just like not going to be able to do that anymore, because it's just gonna, now it's just so much less bulky. So the Paralyze, it's not nothing. It's definitely something. You may be, I was going to say, now Amoonguss is faster, but like now you can't sleep it, so that's not even like a good thing. But now you for sure are slower. Incineroar for sure outspeeds it. That's something. But and obviously Paralyze can scam turns, but yeah. So there was no switching here, and we just kind of just hope that we can fight through the just attack through, and that just turned out to be a disaster. You know, if this is going to be like the general game plan, I don't mind just doing the exact same thing, which is well, not you don't have to knock off this time, but like Drain Punch Snarl, just mitigate the damage as much as humanly possible. Running just every Snarl, like Snarl's just such a good click here. There's very few mons that like are okay switching into a Snarl, and one of them is Gyarados, but then you're sending in a Gyarados that gets an electric type. Now there's like Incineroar, which is like, that's a pretty good switch in, I will give you that, but you gotta put on offensive pressure somehow. Okay. We got a crit. That's something. Okay. Wow. Hidden Power Ground on the Electabuzz. That's definitely not something I was expecting, because Electabuzz already isn't that strong. Well, yeah. But the Protect definitely paying off here, just not letting that happen. And that crit, it looks like it's going to be all for nothing, as he's going to get basically all of his health back. Yeah, I paused it a bit too late, but I do think the Gardevoir switch in is a kind of like your only option here. It is quite annoying that see, So, what do you do here? Moonblast, like the Scrafty is like so obvious. Like it's so obvious that like I almost don't want to do it. I think Snarl, keep on pressing Snarl with the MEN-etrics. I think that's like completely fair, even if you're getting hit by a super effective Hidden Power Ground. Hidden Power is only 60 base power in this generation. Electabuzz doesn't hit that hard to begin with. It's probably not even that much special attack, but invested because it's like a follow me mon. And if Snarl connects on the Electabuzz, it's at 0.5 special attack. So like, I can very well see something like Snarl and like maybe a switch to Cresselia or switch to a Celesteela. And even though there's the electric type out there that can hit for super effectively, I'm assuming that's last move, but like it's still not even gonna hit that hard. So I think this Crafty has a lot of value left, that even if it's paralyzed and slower than everything, just fake out pressure is so nice. And if the Gardevoir dies, this Scrafty is gonna be a huge problem. Yeah, that's the Celesteela I was talking about earlier. Are we gonna... Next Snarl will KO the Electabuzz. And man, that Hyper Voice still did a lot at -1. Mega Gardevoir is such a strong mon specially. Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier with the I mean, Hyper Voice is a spread move, so like it's kind of hard not to click that, and it's so strong because of Pixelate. And who knows if you're gonna have a move that can even threaten the Celesteela, but man, just like you're just kind of like put in a blender right now, where just like you feel obligated to click the Hyper Voice just because it's like such a good click, but like the Celesteela, and then it is like such an easy Celesteela to switch in. And this is just another turn where I think you can Snarl Leech Seed, you can Snarl Heavy Slam. Yeah, I think Snarl Heavy Slam is just a very good click here, and there's like very little that can be done about it. Let's see, I'm just like, this Gardevoir is not in a good spot right now. I would want to switch it out. Maybe, I think now is a good time for the Amoonguss. It's bulky enough to like be living these hits. It's a decent spot defensively. Maybe you can start threatening Spore. I think there's any time stuck in Amoonguss, and I think now would be a good time. It's left over, so we know neither of these monsters need a Spore. Alright, so we're sacking the Electabuzz here. I think that's completely fair. The Electabuzz so low, no Eviolite, and the just lower special attack and low HP. Just set itself up for failure. So I think that's a pretty good move there. You can, what do you send out next? Incineroar is pretty good. It can threaten. Hopefully you actually have a fire move this time to hit the Celesteela, but Flare Blitz would be kind of nice. Or like I was saying earlier, I think I want Amoonguss in, just for the fact that the damage on Amoonguss is less permanent, because it has Regenerator, and if you let Incineroar take too much chip, and then you're just kind of running out of resources for this game. You're already down. You're down 6-4 already, and like. So like you're kind of need to like squeeze as much value out of these mons as possible, and Amoonguss is the mon that you can kind of like abuse the most. Yeah, I like the Amoonguss here. Now it's time to threaten Spore on things, and the only mon that's immune to Spore right now is the Scrafty because it's paralyzed, but Hyper Voice will Thanos snap it to the end of time. So this is, if there's any time where you can start like pushing back right now, it would be now. And this is the Gardevoir did just protect, so that is definitely something that can be taken advantage of. You can do something like, I wouldn't mind something like an electric type move, double the Gardevoir somehow. It can be like Volt Switch, it can be Thunderbolt, just some type of electric move into the Gardevoir, and assuming you have Heavy Slam into the Gardevoir slot. And what that does is that if it switches to Gyarados, the Gyarados perishes. If you switch to the Incineroar, you're putting it down pretty low because Men-etrics hits so hard, and even with the resistant move, like you'll take it down to less than half. So, and if the Gardevoir switches in, stays in, he either has to double protect or do something that will like put it at risk of fainting. So I like doubling the Gardevoir here. I also wouldn't hate Snarl Heavy Slam. Again, I'm also assuming there is Heavy Slam, just so you can the Men-etrics can be just like a bit safer because it does look like it may be a damage roll to see if the Gardevoir lives another. I mean, the Men-etrics lives another Hyper Voice, but you gotta sport something this turn for sure. I'm thinking the Celesteela, just off the fact that the Men-etrics, you may be able to whittle it down and just like KO that yourself. I think scoring the healthier Mon gives you a bit more value here. And here's the switch that I was talking about earlier. You have the double. So using the so this is something similar I was talking about earlier, where you just like double the Gardevoir somehow. Instead of using the Thunderbolt, he went the Heavy Slam. I think that's a perfectly reasonable route here. The problem is that now you have a Gyarados in on. Well, you do have double Intimidate, so the Celesteela is definitely not the a threat that it wants to be, depending on the moveset. Again, Leech Seed is a rarely common move to have with this Mon, but you can just double protect team here. Sounds really reasonable to me. The Gyarados could be a D-Dance Mon. It could. That would be kind of bold, I'd argue, to have this as a D-Dance Mon. But if it was, I think it would be a good time to start getting that off now. You can double protect if your Celesteela doesn't have like only has physical attacks to do damage. You can switch in your own Scrafty actually, just to mitigate this damage. I actually like that, hard switching Scrafty for Celesteela and protect with the Men-etrics. I think that's a very good play here, and that even punishes like some Dragon Dance stuff. Celesteela's at 100 still, and this is what this is what I alluded to. This is the exact play call. Yeah, because if that gets faked out, who cares? Yeah. And now you can fire back with your own fake out pressure here. And you can fight Incineroar, not a Mon that usually can commonly runs protect. So you have to, in this there is the full health Amoonguss that is still on the table that can switch into stuff. So like this fight is looking like very badly, just a couple of switches in the what's it called? The Klefki can really still be back in this game. So this game, it was a very good play. I think this worked out very well, but there's still a lot of work to be done. You can like you could fake out Thunderbolt. You can Drain Punch Thunderbolt. Just this Gyarados can't like just stay in, right? Like that just is never happening. But like maybe you need a way to threaten this Amoonguss at some point into this game. So what my thinking is actually, maybe you switch out Scrafty for Landowai and you try to Thunderbolt the Gyarados. And what that does is that if the Gyarados stays in and does nothing, Gyarados is it's gone, it's dead. But if it switches to Amoonguss, you have a Landorus that probably has Psychic on it. That I'm guessing has Psychic on it, or even Earth Power. Earth Power would still do a good amount of damage. But I think now is a good time to get the Landowai in. When the Gyarados is pinned. So we know the final attack is Volt Switch. And this was a similar this was like a similar idea of what I was talking about earlier with the squeezing way to get the Landowai in to cover for the Amoonguss switch in. And I understand the Volt, like not Volt switching the Gyarados, because like the Gyarados like it can't just stay there and do not like eat the Volt Switch. But the thing is that I think with this is that now the Gyarados, you can't threaten to KO the Landorus right now. I mean the Gyarados right now. You don't have enough offensive firepower. So I actually just would have rather just I think the hard switch was better in keeping the MEN-etrics in there. I think that covered more options here. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but I really think it did. But yeah, the Gyarados just protected, and that is definitely something that you want to look out for. This Paralyze can actually come in pretty big here, where you can protect Landorus, and the Amoonguss can't really do anything, or at least for this turn. You can like, you can I don't know, chip something down. I don't know, do something productive. Essentially, is what I think is. But what is that? I don't know. Maybe it's a knockoff on one of these, just to remove an item, and just that's some permanent progress you can make. And there's a knock. Wow, that did a lot. That did half. The heck? How was it? I feel like it shouldn't have done that. Yeah. So I didn't even realize that wasn't the full turn, but that was very good permanent progress you got. So, you know, I am warming up to the idea of what was happened. You did doubling the Incineroar slot. I think also makes sense with the Volt Switch actually. Maybe the byplay might have been a bit better still, but I definitely don't have a problem with this play. Now's the time. Double protecting feels like kind of like the obvious play here. Just so you don't get waterfalled and like fake out waterfalled. This is another good time to bring in. You can like protect with protect with Landorus and send a Mega MEN-etrics in again, just to be a nuisance. Really, I think lower the attack even further, make this Gyarados, even if it stays in, just like a liability, and forces it, and just force it to be do nothing. I can also see, honestly, you can also just protect Landorus and Drain Punch the Incineroar, just to try to Drain Punch the Incineroar, just to get some extra chip on this thing. I think that would be pretty good, a good thing to do. Just as long as this Landorus is protected, I'm okay with almost anything here. Okay, there's a MEN-etrics. We're really swapping these into many cycles, and we have no fake out. That's kind of a crazy play right there. Predicting that is crazy. Let me just make sure I'm like not crazy and just like did Sinnoh. Oh, I'm stupid. I switched it too early, so this wasn't even the Incineroar switch in turn. It was mid switch. So this was a good cover here. So yeah, there goes the Incineroar, and now you're kind of running out of ways to win this. Oh, it's Ice Fang, and that only did half because non-stab, half special attack. And now this is the Landorus is in a. The Landorus, like I said earlier, is one base speed higher than the Gardevoir, which is pretty huge here. You can Sludge Bomb would do good damage to it. You can I can see something like Snarl just to reduce the damage of Gardevoir. I don't mind that. I can see like Snarl Earth Power, I think is pretty decent here. There's a lot of things that I would be generally okay with. I can even just see like Volt Switch Gyarados, Sludge Bomb, like that's, and that would like, and just like take your chip, and if the Gardevoir protects, the Amoonguss is now in a rough spot. Yeah, here's the Amoonguss again. Okay, we're double protecting here. You do still out the Gardevoir's Protect, which is which is a big deal here with the double protect. And now what you can do is you can like double this Gardevoir with their 2 mons that are faster. It could be Volt Switch Earth Power. That covers for the Gyarados switch. It can, and I don't know if that is enough. You can do if you have Sludge Bomb, Volt Switch Sludge Bomb. Like there's a, yeah, I think you may need to get a double protect here if you are the Boo Boo Klefkis at this point. This is like, you're gonna have to need to put him on to sleep somehow while keeping your Gardevoir alive, or else you're just gonna run out of ways to win this game. Okay, we're gonna, okay. I guess he wants the MEN-etric in just to clean up for later. Oh, and it is, I see, it is Safety Goggles Landorus. I think that's you can see the VDC in him, where like Amoonguss Hate is a lot more common, like, and like more prepared for. He was ready for that, and one of his teams has a Safety Goggles Landorus, so he's definitely ready for this. Icy Wind. This gets Icy Wind. Good to know. Yeah, Quad Super Effective is gonna get the KO, but the this Gardevoir is so low now. Now, if there was any time, okay, I think it's a good time to bring back in the Mega MEN-etric. Because it has a spread move and is faster than the Gardevoir, so you can just like Snarl and like you can ignore Rage Powder, and then you can in the scrap you can do whatever. If you have another Mon with a spread move, which it could be like Surf or like Politoed technically, something like that. I don't mind that either. Just a way to make sure the this Mon just dies, so you have it down to a 2v something, and Gyarados and Amoonguss is versus the world. Yeah, I think this is what is gonna happen. You just gotta make sure that Snarl doesn't miss the Gardevoir. And this Crafty, I don't know with the scrap. I don't want to like switch into anything because of Spore, but I also don't really want on the field either. I probably just knock off, just do some extra damage to the Amoonguss, I guess is really the only thing I can see here. Okay, you have Fake Out, yeah. This is the first turn in, so that's a fair thing to do. Yeah, and this is just continuing to chip down these Mons. When next time this Gardevoir gets switched in against a Mon that's faster, it will get KO'd. So you can only farm the Regenerator so many more times, maybe one more time this match. So just it's not anything like incredible like or flashy, but these chip damage against these Mons is like it does catch up to you. I promise you, it really does. This turn you could try to Volt Switch. You can try to Volt Switch the Amoonguss, honestly. You can try to Volt Switch the Gyarados. You could I don't know, there's a lot of things you can do. Probably just Volt Switch Gyarados. If protects, that's fine. Just get a bit more chip on Amoonguss. You still have a, maybe you don't, maybe if this Politoed isn't Scarf, maybe it's maybe you don't have him on faster than Gardevoir, but you still have full health Celesteal, which is gonna be annoying. There's Cresselia. This actually makes a lot of sense here. And there's no way he's sporing into the paralyzed slot. This is just taking it really slow, really methodical here. 24%. And now you're in a spot where you can just Electric move Gyarados, Psychic move Amoonguss right into double KO, and there's not much that can really be done about it at this point. Oh, we have Discharge. That's alright. I didn't even realize we'd never even seen the last move, and it lives. And you paralyzed yourself. That backfired certainly a little bit. And both these Mons live. Alright. There's a little bit of hope now. The tiniest sliver of hope. 3 Mons that are on death's door. What are you sending now? Do you have any mon that's faster than 287? No. Okay. Probably. What are you sending now? Maybe the maybe scratch. I don't. Maybe not. I don't want to scratch because I mean, then you can't get spored, so that's definitely nice. Yeah, maybe scrap the end so you can just not get spored. Just try to fake out something, KO it. Okay. I don't know. Stu is left over. This one, I don't know if this one can ever die at this point. That did 17. Maybe he's just going for a freeze at this point, or a flinch. I don't blame. I don't know if that's the actual intention, but that could be what it is. But yeah. Now it's just a Gardevoir, and that was another very long game. But I enjoyed. It was a nice change of pace for seeing something like seeing value over time, so like trying to get the Yokos and just not playing it safe, but like playing in ways that you do not put yourself in a position to lose if things go badly, and just using like educated guesses to make safe ways to slowly get an incremental advantage. So, and this is, and honestly, the longer battles go, probably the better your shot is at winning. If you are the manly MEN-etrics, you have more experience in these longer type battles with these mons like a Mungus, but most people are more used to or accustomed to offense. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.